Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in to my presentation, Creating New Culture, Personal Training, a Preventative Solution. I hope you guys can see my screen. This is actually the first time I've actually done a share screen on Zoom. So if you guys can, sorry, one second. If you guys cannot see my screen or the presentation, please let me know. But yes, so yeah. Before we begin, I'm going to tell you a bit about myself, a bit about my background. If you was on the Facebook Live, then you might have heard a bit about, what I'm doing or how long I've been in industry. So yes, my name's Clifton Goldson. I've been in the fitness industry for about 10 years. Yeah, just before I decided to become a personal trainer, I actually went to university to study physiotherapy, but then realized I actually don't want to be a physiotherapist. I didn't enjoy some elements of it, but I did really enjoy anatomy and physiology. So I thought, what could I do with those aspects? So yeah, then I looked at personal training and never looked back ever since. Throughout the 10 years of being a personal trainer, I've trained many different people from different walks of life, from fitness newbies to fitness professionals, football players, cricketers, celebrities, and royalty. So I've been fortunate enough to have different experiences and meet a lot of different people from all over the world, which has been good. I would say the last 3 to 4 years has been really focused on the mental health aspect of health and fitness, and it's really been my passion for those years. Just first from experiences, understanding that, again, no matter where you're from, who you are not immune to mental health, poor mental health, and just understanding that the people's mind or where their mental health is really affects them physically, and makes an impact on the results that I have with them as a personal trainer, and for themselves as an individual. So yeah, I educate myself. So mental health first aid adult and youth qualified, and qualified in cognitive behavioral therapy. And through educating myself through that, I tied the two mental health and physical aspects together. And yeah, created my organization, Goldson MHFT, which stands for Mental Health, Fitness and Training. And yeah, just trying to educate the health fitness space on mental health and the importance and the link between mental and physical health. And that's basically the what this presentation pretty much is about, creating that education and not just the awareness of mental health in the health fitness space. So yeah, that's a bit about me. And again, please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to chime in along the way. If you don't understand anything, I'm always happy to answer the questions as we go along, because I know sometimes, you're trying to follow a presentation and you might not understand something, and you just want to make it clear so it continues to flow in your mind. So yeah, please don't hesitate to ask those questions. Okay, so what is personal training? Now, what I like to do is break everything down to its foundational, to its core, and build it back up to make people understand, the true fundamentals and foundations of whatever they're trying to do or whatever I'm trying to educate them in. And I think this is important, especially if you've been in health fitness industry for a long time. Sometimes we do, myself included, forget the fundamentals of our services we're trying to provide, because we add so many other layers onto it. We forget the foundation, and the foundation is where everything is built. And if you don't have a strong foundation, then everything else crumbles. So if anyone wants to chime in and say their definition, their perspective of personal training, please, you can turn your mic off and give your perspective. I'm really interested to know what people, especially if health and fitness professionals, assume personal training to be. So if anyone wants to say, don't be shy, please, chime in. Okay, if no one wants to, that's fine. So we'll do, so what is personal training? Personal trainer is a individual certified to have a degree of knowledge of fitness involving exercise prescriptions and instructions. And I've highlighted their exercise prescriptions because I feel like this is something that's really overlooked in, especially as a personal trainer. When someone comes to you for a program or for a specific goal, they are actually really trusting you, their body and mind, into your hands. And that's a big responsibility. And it's really we're prescribing exercise to make this person better mentally and physically. And I feel like there needs to be more emphasis, as I said, on that, for really people to understand that personal training is not just a superficial thing. It's something that's really deep, and it really has an impact on individual and their outcomes. So yeah, it's just about understanding that concept of exercise prescriptions. They also motivate clients by setting goals and providing feedback and accountability to their clients. Trainers also measure their clients' weaknesses and strengths with fitness and assessment. And again, it's just making you understand or remind ourselves that is, the foundations of personal training, and again, building that up. PTs also educate their clients in many other aspects of wellness besides exercise, including general health and nutrition guidelines. And again, for me, general health includes mental health. And most people should understand the health and fitness industry with nutrition. Whatever you put in your body, that also affects you mentally. And that's another important aspect of the whole holistic approach to health and fitness. If a personal trainer suspects that one of their clients has a medical condition, they could prevent the client from safe participation in the exercise program. They will refer the clients to appropriate health and fitness for prior clearances. And again, this will all make sense as we go along, but it's about the education, understanding the whole aspect of optimal health and mental health. And if a personal trainer is unaware of the whole package of health, they cannot even refer someone to the appropriate professional help that is beyond your role as a PT. So I feel, again, understanding these things and going back to these core values of personal training is very imperative for us to move forward and help the clients mentally as well as physically. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to chime in. Okay, what is physical health? Again, if anyone wants to chime in first to their definition of physical health, don't hesitate to. If not, then I'll continue and tell you what SHC's definition of physical health is. So, physical health wellness promotes care of bodies for optimal health and functioning. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just try and get rid of this so you guys can see the full. Sorry, 1 second. How to get rid of this thing. So physical health wellness promotes care of bodies for optimal health and functioning. There are many elements of physical wellness that must be cared for together. Overall, physical health encourages the balance of physical activity, nutrition, and mental well-being to keep your body in top condition. And again, mental well-being is one of the key elements to optimum health. You can't have great physical health and poor mental health. That's not optimal health. And again, you can't have great mental health and poor physical health, because they both affect each other. And this is why, again, for me, personally, my opinion is it's important for us as personal trainers and health and fitness professionals to be educated in mental well-being, because we can't say we are helping someone have optimum health when we ourselves don't understand mental health, and we can't help those individuals with mental health. So again, I think it's about the education along with the awareness to make sure we get the best outcomes for our clients. And as you said, this is from the SHC, which is a body where they truly educate people on optimum health. So that shows yourself that we need this mental health aspect, and that this requires education. Okay, the link between mental and physical health. So I'm going to give you guys some research from King's Funds, just to again give you more indication on how important this mental health is, and the link between mental and physical health. So this is the research from King's College Funds. There are rates of mental health conditions among people with long-term physical health problems. So again, the link is, if you have a poor physical health, that does tend to affect you mentally, and then in turn, you have poor mental health. So again, you can't have one without the other. And we as health and fitness professionals, we come across so many people. We can help so many people, and if we understand mental health, we are killing two birds with one stone in a sense. And in order to do that, we need to understand the link between mental and physical health. There is a reduced life expectancy among people with most severe mental illnesses, largely attributed to poor physical health. And again, that's a clear indication of the link with the mental and physical health. There's limited support for psychological aspects of physical health. And this is where I'm trying to create the additional services, because there isn't the enough support for people dealing with physical health and then having the psychological aspects. But imagine a personal trainer being educated, understanding the psychological aspects. That's a service where they can help mild to moderate mental health issues, and really reduce that limited support for lack of psychological aspects of physical health. So yeah, hopefully as you go along, it makes more sense to you. Our physical health affects our thoughts and feelings, and our thoughts and feelings impact our body and physical sensations. And as we will go into more later on, as we go deeper into the presentation, a lot of the mental health issues are physical sensations. You have anxiety and stress that some of the physical symptoms are like over excessive sweating, or a faster, higher heart beat. And if you're unaware of that, you can make these things a lot worse, rather than helping that person and assuming that it's because of something else that they are overly sweating or having a higher heart rate. So again, educating personal trainers in this will really impact the individual and help those people dealing with mental health. And this is why we believe that personal trainers with a level of knowledge and understanding of mental health can have a positive impact on individuals dealing with mental health, impact on quality of care in mental health, and be part of a preventative solution and additional service to mental health patients as social prescribing, help reduce burden on NHS costs. So this is what we believe, educating personal trainers or making them have a level of knowledge and understanding of mental health. They can have a positive impact on individuals dealing with mental health. And again, as I said before, we as personal trainers, we come across so many people within our careers from different walks of life. So we have the potential to help so many people dealing with mental health issues, and impacting the quality of care in mental health. Understanding that, if personal trainers have the right education, things like GPs have more confidence in referring personal trainers to people with mental health issues to personal trainers. And yeah, it's just preventing people with mental health becoming from mild to moderate, or from moderate to severe. Prevention is better than cure, as they say. So I feel like, again, we can be positioned as health and fitness professional in that preventative stage and solution, and help reduce burden on costs on NHS. The mental health services cost NHS 11 billion a year as of 2018-19, as I recall. And that's a lot, you know, and I feel like if we are preventing these mild to moderate conditions from becoming severe, you know, that's making a huge impact on that cost. And of course, most importantly, helping the individual. And again, how we do that is through education. It always comes down to education. And yeah. Any questions? And if I'm going too fast, please let me know. But yeah, so mental health in personal training, the one-to-one approach and relationship building develops trust that allows people to open up in a non-medical environment. And as you know, as personal trainers, you've been in the industry for a while, you know that we see our clients sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. So we naturally build that relationship. And that's the important aspect of this service that I'm trying to highlight and create awareness for and educate in, is the one-to-one relationship building. So, you know, so sometimes we have clients and we build that relationship. You're seeing them 3 times a week, and they start to open up naturally, organically, about their deepest, darkest secrets that they might not necessarily have told their family members or close friends, because we as personal trainers, we don't know them personally. We don't have a prejudgment. So we can either give them a advice or support that is not prejudged or has based on assumptions that we may know of them in the past, or, you know, them in their personal life. And that, for me personally, from my experience in dealing with clients with mental health issues, it's been very beneficial, because they come to us, they focus on their physical health, and then organically we're helping them with their mental health. But I've been times where I haven't understood mental health as much as I do now, and someone's come to me with a mental health issue, or just an issue in itself that's causing them to have poor mental health. And because I don't have the tools and understanding to help manage or help support them with their mental health, I don't know what to say. So it's like, it's kind of a shock to me and to my system. And then it could have taken that split second for me to respond, or just to lend an ear. And that's all they needed. And that could have helped them. But because I kind of reacted awkwardly, they felt awkward. And then it becomes a whole awkward and creates even more anxiety, an environment for anxiety. And then, you know, that can make it worse for your client. And then all of a sudden you might see they stop coming one day, and then one day turns into 2 days, and then they stop coming at all, because you've created that anxiety for them, or added to their issues, their mental health issues. So again, with education now, I understand if someone comes to me a specific way or with a specific issue, I know how to approach it, because I've educated myself, and it's really been beneficial for them and myself as well. Because no one, as a personal trainer, you don't want to lose clients. You know, it's all about client longevity. So if you lose clients, you're losing your income potentially. And with a client, you know, they want to continue their fitness journey, and they want to, you know, improve themselves physically and in turn mentally. But if you create that awkward space, then you've cut off their potential help and support and progression through to become, you know, have more mental health, good mental health. So again, it's all about understanding this one-to-one approach and relationship building that can be very, very beneficial for the individual and yourself as a personal trainer. So focusing first on physical health enables people to take what they have learned into other aspects of their lives. For example, overcoming barriers, setting fitness goals, and seeing them achieved, and building confidence, as well as feeling fitter, stronger, and healthier. And again, this is basically what I love to preach, is about transferable skills. And it's all about intention. Intention is key in everything you do, but especially, I believe personally, as a personal trainer. You know, when you're setting your clients' goals, and or they come to you and they have a specific goal and you're helping them to achieve those and you're setting fitness goals, you have to make sure that they understand their intentions for wanting them goals, and you have to kind of make them understand or align your intentions of why you would give them a specific goal or training program. So for example, I have a client that, you know, she never believed she could even run on a treadmill, not even 30 seconds. And, you know, over time we work together, and, you know, 30 seconds turned to a minute, then 5, then 10 minutes. And she would never believe that she would ever overcome the, or ever be able to run on a treadmill. But her seeing this achieved and overcoming that barrier, she thought to herself, you know what, like, I never thought I would be able to do this, but me now being able to run on the treadmill for 10, 20 minutes, all these other barriers that I had in my life, in my personal life, that I thought I can never overcome, it gives them the extra energy, the extra push, that's extra positivity to overcome those barriers. And again, if you as a personal trainer understand your intention that you're trying to help that person overcome barriers, not just in the physical environment, but also their personal life, the outcomes that I've personally seen is amazing. And you understanding those transferable skills is really amazing. And again, it builds that confidence all around. It's not just in that 1 hour that they're with you, it's when they leave you. Because me personally, I believe as a personal trainer, our goal is not to make our clients just rely on us. We should give them the tools, knowledge, and understanding to be able to support themselves in a physical aspect without us and the tools that we provide them. Yes, they should continue to work with us, but it's not a reliant relationship. And once you understand that, you help that person in their personal life as well as their fitness goals. So that's very important, I believe. Trainers that are equipped with the tools and knowledge and can support their clients to avoid their mental health deteriorating. So again, that ties in everything, and you know what I've basically been talking about, and it's just understanding how you're supporting your client, and your intention of doing so, and not just taking everything for face value, because for every reason, every behavior, there's always an underlying reason. And once you understand that as a health and fitness professional, you really do support your clients at the best you can, and you see incredible outcomes for sure. So again, any questions, please don't hesitate to chime in. Okay, now I'm going to show you a video of one of my clients that I've been working with for quite a few years now. I think it's important for me to show you a perspective of a client, because it's great me, you know, explaining these things, educating these things, but obviously the most important element here is the client. So understanding how someone as a personal trainer that understands mental health and what sort of impact they could have on them, I think is important to hear that from a client. And yeah, so hopefully you guys get a better understanding of that.
I've been working with a personal trainer now for 2 years, after being in a gym for a couple of years before that, where I wasn't making much progress because I didn't really have confidence in using any of the equipment or knowing what I was doing, or feeling like I belonged in a gym, which was the biggest challenge to me. I'd watched a couple of personal trainers in my gym come and go, but I felt that they were interested in working with people who were younger and fitter than I was, and who seemed to have a particular style, which was very focused on sort of shouting and counting. And when my personal trainer came to my gym, I felt like he had a bit of a different style, and that it might actually work for me. So I've been really lucky, because 2 years later, I'm still working with the same personal trainer. And what I've learned about doing that is how much of a difference trusting someone can make to both my physical health and also my mental health. which wasn't something that I predicted happening. I work in mental health, so maybe I should have seen more than some people do, the connection between physical health and mental health. But I hadn't realised what a difference having a personal trainer who's really interested in that side of things could make, and it's made a dramatic difference to my life. I've definitely got fitter, got a way to go, but I've also had some emotional struggles during that 2 years, as anyone would, I guess. And working one-to-one with a trainer has made such a difference to that in a way that I could never have done if I'd just gone to the gym. I suspect I might have dropped out of the whole process by now, rather than kind of push through and continue. My personal trainer's approach is to be really open to hearing what I've got to say, whilst always making me get on with it at the same time. So I never feel like I'm not able to actually make progress. And sometimes at the times where I'm feeling the worst emotionally are the times that he pushes the hardest, which actually I think works really well for me. But working with someone who understands the relationship between physical health and mental health has been incredible to me. And working with someone who will support me when I burst into tears on the treadmill, because my feelings that I don't belong in a gym kind of overwhelm me sometimes, and feelings that other people might be judging me. And I've never ever felt judged by my personal trainer, and I've never felt like the program isn't individual to me and isn't appropriate for my age and my levels of fitness. I've never felt like he's made me try and do something that I'm just not going to be able to do, because I think that would have a negative effect on me. But his support and his kind of understanding and his willingness to kind of listen in an appropriate way for a personal trainer. He never pushes me to say anything that I don't want to say, but is just someone that sometimes there's something quite therapeutic about speaking to someone who, while you're actually running on a treadmill or something, and you don't have to look at the same time as saying how you're feeling. I think personal trainers can be part of something that makes a much bigger impact on mental health than is currently happening. I think a lot of people who have probably got histories like me where exercise has been something they've avoided because they felt like they were humiliated at school by being the last person picked for each sports team, and that they had just decided that they didn't belong in that world. I think one-to-one work with someone, rather than being in a sort of class or gym environment, can be a lot less intimidating, and can make such a difference where you find the right people who really understand mental health. It can be absolutely transformative, as it's been for me.
Okay, I hope you guys got a very good perspective from that. You know, Fiona's been an amazing client for me, and she's really actually helped me along this journey of understanding mental health and how much it can impact, how much personal training and fitness can impact someone mentally, for the positive, really. So yeah, that's she's being really good. If guys got any questions about the video, or you know, anything, again, please don't hesitate to chime in and answer, or ask, I should say. Okay, so your client and mental health. So some trainers tend to forget the personal side of personal training. And now for me, again, this is another very important aspect of it, because again, no fault of personal trainers or health and fitness professionals. All the courses that are in the health and fitness space really tend to focus on the training aspect of of personal training, you know, because that's what is assumed to be the importance for many years in the health and fitness space. You know, we focus on the physical aspects, you know, the exercises, nutrition, which is obviously great, you know, obviously it helps people, but I think like the personal side of training is really neglected. And yeah, once we, again, tie the two and make the two on a even playing field, I feel like, again, the impact can be amazing. And again, that's from my experience and what I've seen. So building relationships. Again, this has been the key throughout the whole thing is building the relationships and that rapport with your clients. That I believe, puts us in a position, a great position to help so many people. But within that, one important aspect of building relationships is being able to adapt to personalities. Now, when I mean adapting to personalities, that I know that's fortunate for some people that comes naturally. There's some people out there that you can put them anywhere, anywhere in the world, any place with any person or people that come from many different backgrounds, and they can adapt perfectly, get along whatsoever, which is great. But I also believe that there's the people that we assume are not able to adapt to personalities. I feel like that trait is usually sat dormant in that person. And I believe once we create the awareness or understanding that, especially in a personal training, as a personal trainer, that, you know, the importance of adapting to personalities, I feel like people automatically become aware of that and become or are more able to adapt to different personalities, and they don't approach everybody one way. They don't find, as a personal trainer, you don't find one way of training or training style and stick to that and apply that to everybody, which is not, of course, effective. So yeah, understanding the importance of adapting different personality is very important to building those relationships and sustaining those relationships. And once you sustain those relationships, of course, you sustain your client base, which is what you want as a personal trainer. You know, so yeah, that's an important aspect of building relationships. Understanding the emotional impact of exercise on individuals. And again, another important one, you know, once we as health and fitness professionals understand how physical exercise can impact some individuals, we become a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? More understanding of what is needed more in creating and training programs to make them more individualized. Yes or no, you know, we do try to make them individualized as much as we can, you know, based on the individual's goals, but understanding the emotional impact will also impact how we build our training programs, and it also enables us to adapt it very frequently with the mental health aspect and emotion aspect involved. And again, that creates a lot more positive outcomes. And again, the client longevity, because if a client understands that you understand their emotional impact and their fleeting emotions as humans, then they're more likely to stick with you and stay with you and trust you more. And that's what you want as building relationships as well, is gaining that trust. And then again, that comes with the understanding of the emotional impact. Having the confidence in looking behind what is said, looking behind what is going on rather than what is said, sorry. And what I mean by this is, again, someone coming to you with a specific goal or what they want to achieve. And it's trying to understand or have the confidence to understand, you know, what is the reason why they have this goal. And this is not about being intrusive. It's not, you know, again, I'm not trying to make clients, trainers into counselors. That's not the aim, because that won't be realistic of your role as a PT. But what we're trying to do is make personal trainers aware of the, you know, the mental health and the emotional impact, and then that gives them the confidence in looking, as I said, looking behind what is going on rather than what is said of a client. Because a lot of clients come to you and say they want something or they want a goal, and sometimes they give you a I don't know, a very brush away answer, reason why they want to lose a specific goal, and with asking the right questions, you can really delve deeper into making that client understand their state of mind and why they have the goals, and is it going to have a positive impact in the long run. You know, it's about longevity again. Is it going to impact them? Is it going to have a positive impact in their mental health? And sometimes the client within itself, as I said, doesn't understand that. So you can help support them come to that conclusion or the understanding of why they have a specific goal. Understanding the impact that PT can have on a client's mental state, and that ties in with the above statement. You know, you as a PT, how you can help support that client and help improve their state of mind and well-being simply by what you do, how you create the programs, how your initial approaches to your client, and just being aware of mental health and their mental state. And again, once you understand that, your intentions of you approaching your client becomes very different. And again, that's the key point, is your intentions behind your actions and your reasons for doing things and approaching your client. Assessing and understanding a client's state of mind from the start and helping clients understand their own state of mind. So even before you've even began to create programs or train your client, assessing and understanding their state of mind from the beginning also helps that client understand their own state of mind. And you work together in making sure you're sustaining good mental health and preventing their mental health from deteriorating. And some people might think, oh, it's only an hour with that person, but you'd be surprised within an hour how much of an impact you can have each time you approach your client. And especially if you're having that in your mind, the impact that you have on their mental health. And again, it's all about intentions. Intentions is the key. When I say intentions, what I mean is, sometimes people say they would like to do something, but because the intentions are not matching with their actions, the outcome's always different. So once your intentions align with your actions, the outcome always becomes positive. Okay, so I'm about to give you some strategies to help you with supporting your client if they have any mild to moderate mental health issues. Now, these are very basic strategies, but they're so important and can have a huge impact on how you're supporting your client and even for yourself, really. We do have a course on ProFi Fitness's website, a 4-day course that goes into more depth and detail on strategies to support your clients, and we educate more about mental health. Which you can find on ProFi Fitness's website. But these strategies, again, are simple, but they're so effective. Okay, encouraging them to talk and try not to worry about saying the wrong thing in conversation. So encouraging them to talk, again, it's not about being intrusive, it's not about forcefulness, nothing like that. Encouraging someone to talk is based on you building a relationship with them and understanding their cues, understanding their behaviors, body language, all these things. Once you truly build that relationship, understand your client, when to encourage them, when to not encourage them, when to push them too much, when you need to push them. And then that ties in with supporting your clients with mental health. You may have a client that usually they are bubbly, they are full of energy when they come to you. You know, they're always ready, they always listen to what you have to do, they always try. And then there might be all of a sudden there was a period where they come in, they look a bit lethargic, or you have to encourage them a bit more. Because you understand that client, you know how to approach them and support them better, and then you can encourage them to talk, and you don't have to worry about what to say or what not to say, and it becomes a whole organic relationship and experience for you and your client. Okay, listen. And I feel like listen is very simple, but I feel like it's something that needs to be emphasized on, because most people listen to respond rather than listen to hear. And I feel like, especially in the UK, it's a very British thing to do things because they seem polite. For example, you know, might see someone on a regular basis, we pass them, we say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And then automatically the person says, "Yeah, I'm good, thank you." And you? And say, "Yeah, I'm good, thank you." Both not really concerned about what the other person, how the other person's day's going, or it's just something you do is polite. But when you understand, especially as a personal trainer, that you must always listen to hear rather than listen to respond, even if you assume you know how to respond, even before that person has finished, you still need to, your intentions need to be to listen to hear. And once you listen to hear, that again ties into you and be able to encourage them to talk and not having to worry about saying the wrong things, you know. And that listening to hear rather than listen to respond is in every aspect of life, I believe. You know, you always must, we must, especially if you live in cities, everything's fast going, fast paced. So we don't even take the time to listen to anything or anybody. Everything's fast and quick. So I feel like in life, and especially, you know, dealing with dealing with people with mental health issues, it's imperative for you to listen to hear rather than listen to respond. Be patient. Again, another simple one, but very effective. I myself in the past have been guilty of being very impatient, especially the times when I was unaware of mental health and how me as a personal trainer has an impact on someone's mental state. And, you know, I got difficult clients, and not understanding how to approach these difficult clients, I got very frustrated and very impatient. And I'm like, oh, I can't be asked with this client. You know, I'm asking them to do something simple, and then I have to repeat myself many times, and they just refusing to do certain things. I can't be asked. But when you truly understand mental health, you understand that for every behavior, there's an underlying reason, and your client might not necessarily be willing to tell you what's going on, what the reason is. But once you have that in your mind, that, you know, this client has been difficult, maybe there is a reason, you become more patient, you become more understanding, and again, you encourage them to talk, or you let them be, and you just wait for them to be ready to open up or talk to you organically, and they will if they feel like you're listening to hear and you're being patient. Allow silence and allow focus on exercise. This can be very supportive and a challenging stress outlet. And yeah, again, it goes back, you know, to them encouraging them to talk. But if they don't feel like talking, or they, you know, you can sense that they don't, then just allow the silence, allow the focus on exercise. This is another aspect why it's personal training or health, you know, personal training has such an impact, because people use exercise as a stress outlet. So if you understand, and you've been listening to hear, you've been patient, you understand when you need your client to just be fully focused in the exercise, what they're doing, focusing on movement, you know, on all these things, that can be beneficial to them. You know, I'm sure many of us as personal trainers, we've had a client come in very quiet, very low, and then by the end of the session, they're ready, they're active, they got energy, they feel good, they look more positive. And the little things like this, again, understanding and creating your intentions in those things amplifies the impact that they have on your client. Do not label or stereotype. Now, again, I'm not trying to make us as personal trainers or health fitness professionals counselors, because that's not what we signed up for, educated to do. But again, it's about us supporting those services and supporting our clients. And labeling is not beneficial to anybody in most cases. So it's not about us as personal trainers saying, oh yeah, that person has stress. Yes, that person has anxiety. That person has depression, because that's not helpful. It's just being aware and understanding some of the things that may come up that could be related to a mental health illness, and just having that in mind, and being aware when you approach your clients. And again, that will tie into you being more patient and listening to hear rather than just respond. So yeah, labels and stereotypes is not the way to go. Offer support rather than solutions. Any mental health course you do, or any information, it always tells you never is your job is not to, even as a mental health first aider, your job is not to find a solution for someone. Is to provide support and guide them on finding a solution themselves, because doing the work for someone and doing the journey is not helpful, and it's not providing with the tools and knowledge to support themselves without anybody around them. So yeah, helping the support find the solution on them on their own, rather than finding solutions for them. Retain realistic expectations of your role as a PT. And now this is very important, because again, it's not completely stepping out of your role as a personal trainer. It's just adding additional knowledge and information that you can help support your client further. And but at the same time, remember that you're a PT first, and you should remain in those realistic expectations of your role as a personal trainer, and try not to do someone else's job. Give hope and be positive, help them feel good about themselves, and offer praise. And that helps anybody, no matter who you are, even if you have good mental health or not. Hearing praise and being positive is good. But at the same time, there is a thing I believe called toxic positivity. Now, toxic positivity is where you're being overly positive and too positive, especially if someone is very low and feeling down. Not everybody wants to hear it's going to be great, it's going to be amazing, everything's going to be okay. That's not always helpful. Definitely. Sometimes some people just want to allow the negative feelings to pass and work through it. Or you, as a personal trainer or someone who understands mental health, the best thing you can do is just allow that person to go through the motions, but at the same time saying, the support is there, and being just a positive being naturally, rather than trying to force the positivity. And again, if you understand your client and you build that relationship, you do understand how to be positive on where you need to be positive, or where you just need to be silent and supportive. So yeah, but yes, it's always good to make them feel good about themselves and offer praise. And again, it's all about intentions. Okay, what we want to achieve as an organization. So this is an exciting opportunity to motivate a movement of personal trainers who are willing to develop themselves and make a huge impact on care and services in mental health. This training will educate and sow the seed to bridge the gap between mental and physical health. This is a promotion and prevention approach that will have a continual influence across generations. And I strongly believe that, more education in our health and fitness space will definitely have a great impact on mental health and how mental health is approached. People managing their own mental health. It's just all positive, I think. And educating ourselves and educating, especially younger people, as well as older people, it has a domino effect, and we start educating young people start educating themselves and educating the next generation, and then I think it's an amazing way to have them both hand in hand and kill two birds with one stone, as they say. So yeah, that's what we believe. And again, finally, what we want to achieve also is make mental health just as important in health and fitness as physical health. Ensure GPs have more confidence in referring patients with mild to moderate conditions to health and fitness professionals. And again, this will have a great impact in mental health services and a good impact on the high demand of mental health services, because they're really stretched. Mental health services are really stretched and struggling, and I feel like us as health and fitness professionals, we can help offload some of that burden for sure, and make people with like severe mental health conditions that opens up more resources for them, because yes, exercise really helps in mental health, but someone that has severe mental health, I'm not saying exercise is going to be a cure to that, because that would be unrealistic, because that having a severe mental health illness is chemical imbalances in the brain. And yes, exercise can help people maintain a level of normal life, but it's not going to replace the medication that is needed for those people. But definitely mild to moderate conditions can have a huge impact. Obviously, add another service in mental health. At the moment, we're creating directories for personal trainers and GPs to collaborate. And I think this will be amazing once it gets up and running, because again, having a directory that GPs and personal trainers have access to, for example, someone goes to a GP and says, I'm feeling low right now, not feeling myself. The GP says, oh, you have stress or depression. Then personal trainers that has taken the course or is educating in mental health, they are on these directories that GPs have access to. And then wherever that person lives in where it's London or any area of London, the GP goes in this directory and says, okay, I have a personal trainer in your area who understands mental health. Let's try and get you fitter, stronger, build your confidence, self-esteem. And this personal trainer can support you for mental health. And again, that'll be, for me, I know this will be a great service, and that's what we are trying to achieve, and we're on the road, hopefully, in doing that. Change the way mental and physical health is approached. Again, I feel like mental health and physical health are approached separately, which is, in my opinion, not the right way to do it. I think they should be approached as one, because they come in hand. Again, of course, if it's severe mental health condition, then that's another conversation. But definitely mild to moderate mental health can be approached alongside physical health. And finally, our summary. Everyone has mental health, and it changes throughout our lives. No one is immune, no matter where you're from, who you are, how much money you got in your bank account. You are not immune to mental health. Mental health issues are treatable. They can be overcome. And that's not just for in-person training, that's for everybody in an individual. Mental health is something that you can overcome and can improve. So you just have to keep working hard and understanding it for yourself. Being open to hearing about people's own mental health experience can be really beneficial and reduces stigma. And that's another thing. I feel like mental health is approached in one-dimensional, and I feel like people assume that mental health can only be approached in one way, where there's no specific environment, place, conditions that poor mental health arises in. So why then should there be only a specific point of focus in approaching mental health? Make sure that you focus on yourself and your own well-being, and find strategies to help you relax. It's easier to help other people if you're looking after yourself. And that's the first and foremost, the most important thing. You know, I always say sometimes you have to be selfish to be selfless. And selfish in the terms of, you know, making sure your mental state is okay, your physical state is okay, and then you have the capacity to help other people. Okay. And that's it from me. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them now.